I'm a bit surprised that this video hasn't received more views. It basically focuses on how the CSGO team at Valve communicates with the community. I appreciate this video since it's been tough to understand why Valve are not always communicating with us and staying silent about things. I'll link it in the video description, but I'll do my best to summarize its content for this video and of course talk about it. Now, to summarize the video, Valve and its CSGO team prefers to communicate through game updates. It even says in the title of the video, let updates do the talking. So why has Valve decided to go with this strategy instead of communicating publicly with the community? Simply put, Valve prefers to listen and analyze feedback since they believe that the feedback becomes way more clear when they're not part of the conversation. They do not influence the outcome if they are not part of it, and it sometimes takes the conversations to a deeper level. Basically, if we, the community, talk to each other about everything revolving the game, it eventually becomes more and more clear of what the game really needs. But if Valve would suddenly jump into these conversations, then we would face them with our direct issues instead of talking to each other, which could make feedback less clear, according to Valve. This is mainly why they use their communication strategy of communicating through updates. Another interesting part from the video is that Valve avoids talking about future plans for the game because future plans can change. Valve are not big on taking risks, which could limit their options for the game's future, and they really don't like making promises to the community. For example, if Valve promises the community to fix or improve the anti-cheat, and they can't fulfill that promise, then it's going to hurt the game even more than not giving out that promise in the first place. Sounds crazy perhaps, but that's how they see it. It's also part of the reason why this tweet is a little vague. They're trying their best to avoid overextending or overpromising something that they don't know if they can deliver. Basically, they like to keep their options open, which is why they don't like to talk about the future plans of the game in case they need to make big changes, which might affect the community's expectations. Now, how does Valve prioritize what to work on for CSGO? The answer is they gather a wide range of community feedback from forums such as Reddit or Steam, and they collect data and analyze player behavior. Apparently, analyzing player behavior is one of the most useful tools. But all of this is what a developer relies on to know what to focus on. Another cool part of the video shows that Valve had a really solid long-term plan for the launch of the game. So the features that we received were clearly things that they had carefully planned for, such as the workshop, skins, keeping the performance up, etc. And this was all based off customer expectations. However, since they didn't communicate to us about these features, it gave them, once again, the flexibility to decide what to prioritize based on feedback between the players and the data they had. They also talk about the one feature that helped CSGO grow steadily after launch, which was to update the matchmaking feature of the game. In short, it's because of matchmaking that CSGO is where it's at today, and without matchmaking, we would probably still be playing 1.6 or Source. Then the video focuses a bit more on what types of ways they can communicate through updates, such as bringing new elements to the main menu, which is obviously rather obvious to the player, showing the blog posts, essentially keeping the players informed about the changes made to the game. Now that we know Valve's communication strategy, it's time to ask, does it need changing? I feel like CSGO has reached its peak in terms of how polished it is. Apart from some bugs, and of course the cheating issue that the game has, I mean really, apart from those things, the game is pretty much flawless. In fact, it's got such a good base today that all it really needs to survive, apart from security features and squashing the remaining bugs, is new content on a regular basis. New maps, new map pools, new gameplay adjustments, maybe even new server settings. This is things that Valve doesn't need to work on anymore. They could easily assign this to someone else who could focus solely on growing the esports scene and community of the game. At least make that connection feel more strong. Which is why I think it's time for Valve to just get experts or veterans from the community on board to help with the game's future. What is left to innovate in CSGO? The game is 9 years old. I don't see how it would hurt to get the right people involved and let them take care of the contents of the game while Valve can focus on the other elements. As far as the communication strategy goes, it seems to work in Valve's favor, but it really wouldn't hurt if they would keep us posted with way more consistent updates, content, and information. Like for starters, make sure that the operation ends at the actual date that you said it would. Alright, that is all for this video. Slap a like to show your support, subscribe if you like my content, and I'll see you guys soon. Stay awesome and go bananas.